Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to do a June book haul because I've gathered enough books that I can do a book haul, and I'm very excited for all these books. So let's just get started. The first book that I got is The Ghost Brigades by John Scalzi. This is the second book in the Old Man's War series, and I read the first book earlier this month, and right after I finished it, I ordered the second book because it was that good. I wanted to continue along with the series straight away. It follows a guy named John Perry who decides to enlist in the Colonial Defense Forces at the age of 75, and it follows his adventures in space as he goes around and battles different races, and it's just really entertaining. I love it. John Scalzi is just really funny, and I enjoy his books, so I'm sure I'll love this book too. The next book that I got is Alcatraz versus the Shattered Lens. This is the fourth and final book in the Alcatraz series by Brandon Sanderson. This is not actually the final book. There's one more after this, but it won't be released until Tor starts re-releasing the books, and I just love the Alcatraz series a lot. I've given every single book 5 stars, so I'm sure this one will be fantastic as well. Come here, Nook. Nook! Hi, buddy. Oh. Oh. Nook, say hi. Look right there. Nook. Hi, buddy. Nook. So the next book that I got, my dad actually bought for me, and that is the Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov. It is Foundation, Foundation and Empire, and Second Foundation. This book was published in 1932, so it is really old, and I'm excited to read this book because my dad said it was one of his favorite series when he was a kid, and it's a science fiction book. I don't really know what it's about, so yeah, that's it. That's all I know. So the next book that I got is a standalone, and that is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. This is about 2 siblings that have to fight a fairy or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I saw the book trailer for it and it was really good, so I wanted to try out the book. I read the Spiderwick Chronicles by her, so hopefully I enjoy this book just as much as I did that series. The next book that I got is The Fox by Sherwood Smith. This is the second book in the Enda series. I wasn't sure if I was gonna continue this series because I wasn't the biggest fan of Enda. I gave it a 3.5 stars, but I'm curious to see where the story goes, so hopefully Chelsea and Sarah will read this with me because I'm not sure if I'll be able to read it by myself. And I also found this book for really cheap, so I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll take the plunge. Then I got Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is a standalone novel that follows a girl who's living in a town that has to be protected by this wizard that's called the Dragon. The Dragon demands that a girl work for him for 10 years, and it's apparently a fate worse than death, so I think it is maybe a Rapunzel retelling. I think that's what I heard. I've heard it's gotten really good reviews, so I want to read it before the hype makes it pretty much unreadable. Then I got the 5th book in the Ranger's Apprentice series, which is The Sorcerer of the North by John Flanagan. I started this series like 2 years ago, and I took a huge break between reading the 4th book and this book because there's a big time difference. The 4th book, the main character is still a kid, and in this book he's an adult and is kind of like living on his own, so I didn't feel super motivated to continue, but I found this book for pretty cheap, so I'm going to read this book and hopefully power through the rest of the series. There's like 13 books or something like that, so yeah, I've got a ways to go with this one. I then picked up The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. This is a standalone novel by Leslie Walton. It's a magical realism book about a girl who's born with wings, and apparently it's pretty sad because, you know, it says sorrows on the cover, but I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. I haven't read too much magical realism, so it should be great, and I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book that I got is The Black Reckoning, which is the 3rd and final book in the Books of Beginning series by John Stevens. I really enjoyed the first 2 books, so I'm pretty excited to finish the series and see how everything wraps up. I've been waiting for this book for a really long time because each book had a lot of time in between each one being released, but now that they're all released, I'm just so happy. And the last book that I got is Amazonia by James Rollins. This is a standalone science fiction thriller about this guy who goes into the rainforest, and then when he goes in, he doesn't have an arm, and when he comes out years later, he does have an arm, so it's just about figuring out what's happening in the Amazon rainforest. So I'm pretty excited to read it. I've heard amazing things, but yeah, standalones, woo! So those are all the books that I got the first half of June. I know I'm gonna have a book haul for the second half of June because I just placed a book outlet order, so I'm very excited for that. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought of it, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!